and managing yourself. So confidence is something that so many people struggle with. Many of my clients have struggled with at some point, and I myself have definitely struggled with self-confidence or self-doubt issues in the past. But I feel over the last number of years, I've been able to figure out strategies that have worked not just for me, but also for many of my clients. And really, confidence is about taking it inside your control, taking the security and the certainty and the confidence inside your control, rather than it being outside your control and up to other people saying that you've done something well, or something, going well in work, or getting lucky, or waiting for some event to happen before you can feel confident. Why not feel confident whenever you want and make it a priority for yourself? So I want to show you an approach that has worked in a way you can think yourself through it and process it and actually take actions to get yourself into a confident state whenever you need to. I also want to share with you some science behind it. So there's this wonderful video on TED called The Happy Secret to Better Work. It's by a guy called Shawn Achor, where he talks about how if we're positive and we focus on positive things, we're more creative and we're more productive. Essentially, it's building up our confidence. In the video, he talks about writing down positive things, or writing down what we're grateful for. So if you write down 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for, or in a work sense, it's more like victories. Like, what victories have you had, and writing them down on a regular basis. That will help to build up your positivity and therefore your confidence. He also talks about writing down an experience that has gone well in detail, allows you to relive the experience and get those good feelings again. That's one of the beauties of the competency-based interviews. When you look at STAR examples and you write it out in full, you describe an example of delivering a project well and getting a good result, it allows you to relive that experience on some level. And so you can do the same thing with your confidence by writing out examples of what you've done well, allowing yourself to relive it, or even on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, writing out victories that you've had and why you're proud of them. He says in the video, your brain at positive performs significantly better than it does at negative, neutral, or stressed. Your intelligence rises, your creativity rises, your energy levels rise. In fact, we found that every single business outcome improves. Your brain at positive is 31% more productive than your brain at negative, neutral, or stressed. Wow, 31% more productive than your brain at negative, neutral, or stressed. So the science shows that if we're positive, we're able to be more creative, we're able to be more productive. And well, it just makes more sense. We're more open because we're feeling good and we're able to take action. So I'll break confidence down into these 3 areas: focus, physiology, and self-talk. We've talked about focus a little bit, and just to show you a slide to solidify it more, focus is about victories and skills. What large or small victories have you had? What have you experienced this week? What have you experienced over the last year? What have you experienced over the last number of years? Why did those victories go well? How did those victories make you feel? And so really writing these down is the essential, because if you just think about them and go, yeah, that was good, it hasn't really resonated, it hasn't really gone deep with you. But that's where we need it to go. We need it to go so deep that it shifts you emotionally, but it also allows you to get into that mindset and really create a belief that what you've done is good. Because if we don't shift the belief, it's very hard to build up your confidence. And also talking about not just what has gone well on occasion or in the past, but also what your skills are. So if your core skills are clear in your mind, it's easier to have a platform to work on when you're talking about what you've done well or thinking about the value you can bring. It's also very good for expanding your professional identity. Like, who am I? What do I have to offer? Do I have project management skills to offer? Do I have client relationship management skills to offer? Do I have user experience skills to offer? Do I have analysis or data science skills to offer? Do I have coaching skills to offer? So understanding the victories that you've achieved in the past and understanding what skills you have to offer will really help shift your focus to expand your professional identity and help build up your confidence. Really, we're hoping to build up your belief so that you can see what you've done and what you can do, and that belief will build up your confidence. And so if there's ever a moment where you're not feeling good, you're not feeling confident, you've got self-doubt, shift your focus back to the things that you have done well and the things that you're able to do. Your physiology. Well, if we have poor physiology, so physiology is how you use your body, how you control your breathing, whether you look up or you look down, whether you have your shoulders back or your shoulders forward. Physiology is all about how you use your body. So if we're using our physiology, if we're using our body in negative ways, like we're hunched over, we're breathing shallow, or we're looking down all the time, or we're moving slowly, it's going to send a message to our body and also to our brains that we're not confident and that we're not in a good emotional state. Whereas we know from science, and I'm going to talk to you about some of the science, or a video by a lady named Amy Cuddy, that shifting our physiology will help build up our confidence and help shape who we are. It will basically change our emotional state. And anyone who goes for a fast run or high intensity workout or any sort of vigorous sport or vigorous activity will know that shifting that physiology will shift your mindset and will build up, the positive hormones like endorphins and testosterone and all that sort of good stuff. So one of the ways we can do it is by power posing and breathing exercises. If anyone's interested, they could look into a guy, Wim Hof, who does lots of deep breathing exercises. There's a lady named Amy Cuddy I'm going to introduce you to next, and she's all about power posing. And all the personal trainers and all the fitness experts know that exercise and movement gets us into a good, not just physical state, but also a good mental state. The TED Talk, if you're interested, is Your Body Language Shapes Who You Are, and it's all about power posing. So people who use the Superman pose or any sort of dominant pose, it shifts their hormones, testosterone. It increases their testosterone, which helps calm them down and which helps build up their confidence over time. They're also perceived as being more confident by other people. Fascinating, really. Worth the watch. And that's the way you go about doing it, right? The power posing, the breathing, high intensity exercise, all those things are going to be really good. Of course, that's not medical advice. You have to consult your own medical practitioner before you take any sort of exercise or rigorous physical activity. These are some of the power poses she talks about. Almost anyone can do these. Once you can move, you can do these types of poses. You can see the three people there in dominant positions. They're in strong, high power body language in the top, and in the bottom, they're in kind of the negative or the lower power body language, which is going to make them feel less confident, more unsure of themselves. Okay. Finally, in this one, self-talk. So what language do you use and what questions do you ask yourself? A good rule of thumb is if you ask yourself better questions, you'll get better answers. Like, what have I done well? What victories have I achieved? What skills am I able to do? Who has appreciated my work in the past? How do I go about doing this in the future? What am I prepared to do? Ask yourself positive, good questions. You're going to get better answers. Whereas if you say, why do I always make mistakes? Why does everyone always look at me? Why did I do that incorrectly? Why did I do that wrong? You're going to get negative answers. Okay. So ask better questions, get better answers. If you have any negative self-talk going on in your head, replace the negative mantras or the negative self-talk with positive ones. Instead of saying, I can never do anything well, just say to yourself something like, I'm doing the best I can, or I'm making progress, or I'm on the right track, or I'm the sort of person who's going to make this happen. So choose a good mantra or a good bit of self-talk for yourself to keep you going in times of uncertainty, self-doubt, or fear. One of the things I find that if people have this negative self-talk in their head the whole time, if you ask them, would you speak to someone else like that? They always say, no, I'd never speak to someone as negatively or as meanly as I speak to myself. So a good idea is to consider that you're speaking to a team member or you're speaking to someone you care about and you're trying to build up their confidence. What would you say to them? It's like before you're leading or you're mentoring or you're teaching, training, coaching anyone else. What would you say to yourself? How would you coach yourself? How would you train yourself? How would you look after yourself? So what is the positive self-talk and the positive questions that you would ask yourself? And then finally, respond positively to self-doubts. If you say, yeah, but I still don't know if I'm going to do it, you could say something like, yeah, but give it your best shot. Try, get advice, get help. Work hard. Just improve a little bit more each day. Respond to whatever concerns you have with positive self-talk and to remove those doubts. So if you think of those three pillars, resetting your focus on your achievements and your skills, getting your body language right? Getting your physiology right. Even if you can't do exercise, you can still use your breathing. You can still use your body posture. Okay, even if you're in an office and you can't go out and you can't walk and you can't do any sort of workout, just getting your breathing right, getting your posture right is going to help. And then finally, your self-talk. Speaking kindly to yourself, asking yourself positive questions. Those three things are really going to help shift your confidence and get you back into a positive frame of mind. Finally, the last point on this is achievement versus appreciation. A lot of times, high achievers, anytime they get to a goal, they just want to go towards the next goal. So they're never quite satisfied. They never quite celebrate those victories. And what I would say is, it's always good to be continuously striving for the next goal, striving for the next target, but you can always also take a chance to appreciate what you've done so far. So it's not whether I can have one or the other, but you can have achievement and appreciate it, and then take some time to enjoy it while keep striving forward. Whereas if you never get a chance to appreciate it, you're just always on this treadmill of trying to achieve more and never really being satisfied. So give yourself the opportunity to appreciate what you've achieved so far, and then get back onto achieving again. Okay. I hope this has helped to give you some tools and strategies for building up your confidence and get you on the right track. Thanks for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions.